This post is about Marvel Comics and what happened to all the great artists in the industry. It seems Marvel always had the best of the best that the industry had to offer. And it wasn't just great, they were superstars. For example, in the 60s, you had Kirby, you had Ditko, you had John Romita Sr., John Buscema. And then later on in the 70s, you had John Byrne. The 80s, you had Frank Miller, Walter Simonson. But I think the true highlight of the industry, the biggest movers and shakers, were the late 80s, early 90s of Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. Those three, and a few others, but especially those three, were powerhouses. They were selling books over 1 million issues, high-end 200,000 per issue or more. I remember they said McFarlane, he was getting a royalty check for over $1 million from Marvel Comics. If you think about it, remember when X-Force #1, Spider-Man #1, X-Men #1, that was selling over 1 million copies when Image Comics first formed? And you look now, the past 15, 20 years, which are the industry big names who sell a book just on their name value alone that could sell 100,000 copies based on their name value? Where is that next Liefeld, McFarlane, Jim Lee, etc.? Don't get me wrong, there have been some great artists the past 15 plus years. There have been some really fantastic work, such as, Cassidy. But you know what? The new people who are names, they are not people who sell, who have that energy that people are buying, like 75,000, 100,000 copies a month. You know, there's a difference between having some really skilled artists and really great at what they do, but, do you feel that there are people today working that the mass of the community that just must buy that next issue, that you just have to get it? But that's the way it was in the 1990s, the early 90s. That next Spider-Man book, that next X-Force book, or X-Men book with Jim Lee, you just had to get it. You were there every month, you just had to buy it. That energy, what they were bringing to Marvel Comics. But you look at it now, one of the problems of the industry, why the industry is failing, is because they don't have that superstar, that new person whose style or what they bring to the table is so unique that the gigantic mass of the community just has to buy that next issue, just has to see what is going on. And I don't know why that is. Maybe because Marvel has focused on the writers more. Maybe when Image Comics started and all the hot artists left, that they felt burned, and then they didn't want to promote artists to that level before. But something went on, because there are many competent and good artists, but they're not the ones who are must buy, that you feel compelled to get that issue, that next issue. And the whole industry, DC doesn't have it, Marvel doesn't have it, nobody really has it. There is no new blood that sells comics based on their name value alone. And it's odd, but it's true, So when you had those hot artists in the 60s, the 80s, and the 90s, that was something special, because you could go a decade plus, even 2 decades plus, and not have any artists in the industry who break through and bring something so unique and so compelling that the mass of the buyers just feel they have to get that next issue, they have to buy it. So that's my thoughts on it, and thanks for watching.